Hi, I'm Genesis, and I'm here with Uzi. Sadly, not with Mari, but I'm here with Community Powered ATX. And do you want to introduce yourself, Uzi?
Sure. Hi, my name is Uszee McCoy. I'm a community organizer. I'm a student, lifelong Austinite. I've been involved with many areas of organizing here in the city for about pretty much my entire life. Um, I've been really excited to see a lot of the organizing taking place this summer, and I'm just glad to have been able to be a part of it. I'm really interested in housing justice, police accountability, and definitely like youth civic engagement. And I'm also a student at Wesleyan University. I'm studying economics and government with a concentration in global and international politics.
Ooh, that was a lot.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just like, oh.
I have a problem with yapping.
No, it's okay. Wow, so you do like a lot, basically.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. And like, do you enjoy it though?
This is gonna sound really weird, but I actually do enjoy it. I don't know really what I would be if I wasn't involved with any type of organizing, activism, public policy, advocacy, anything like that. I feel like I'd be incredibly boring or either incredibly odd. So I'm happy. It's my life. Like I love it. I feel like this is what I was born to do. I can't imagine not doing anything else.
And like, how did it start off? Like, what was the first thing that you ever did?
The first thing I ever did?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm trying to think. The first time I realized, wow, I have a knack for this, it was 2016. My sister got appendicitis, and there was also like a meeting about the budget, and this was during the whole rise of like Code Next, and the community was coming out talking about like police, like the budget allocations and how we were upset that the police were getting a lot more money, but a lot of social services and community services weren't. And of course, my mom at the time, she was doing organizing with a lot of different other groups like CCU, which is Communities of Color United. And of course, she had to be at the hospital with my sister because she had appendicitis. And so I stayed with a family friend, Paula Rojas, who is like probably one of my favorite people on the planet. Her and my mom helped co-found Mama Sana Vibrant Woman. I was staying with her and her family, and of course we were all at City Hall, which is I spent too much time at my childhood at City Hall. And I got ready to testify, and I went completely off script from what Paula wrote for me, and I said, please stop giving the police money to kill black people.
Girl.
And that was a bit of a controversial take for some. And I remember my mom just not being furious, but just being like, this is why you have to give him something to read so he doesn't go off script. And that's when I realized, you know what? I kind of like making politicians go. And I also just like raising awareness on certain types of issues. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. And but I don't know how to say this, but like, were other people like surprised that like, wait, how old were you?
I was like 9.
Oh, so like, were people surprised seeing like a really young?
I mean, I would say they were surprised because most 9-year-olds aren't concerning themselves with like how their city spends their money, or like any type of policy oriented ish. So I guess people were surprised. I remember even talking to my teachers and like random adults about politics, and they would just be like, "Oh gosh, you are so articulate and so eloquent about politics." And of course, I was too young to know what that would mean. So, but yeah, I guess people were surprised. Yeah.
No, that's good. I guess. I think. Sorry, I'm just like out of zone right now.
It's okay.
If it was off with Amari here, it's okay.
You got this. You're a G.
Right. Okay. So my second question is like, what's your experience growing up in the community, organizing space?
I'd say that it's probably been one of the biggest blessings in my life. I've gotten to meet so many different, like, awesome, amazing people, and I'm like really lucky that I get to call so many people my family. And I really have learned that family and love and struggle all comes out of solidarity. And, I feel like I wouldn't be who I am without my community. I think if I didn't have my community, I think if my community didn't have my back, I definitely wouldn't have like the drive or the goals that I have now. And I think that, if anything, is like the biggest driving force to why I want to keep doing organizing, and I want to help out everybody and make sure everyone knows what's going on. Because, like, I don't think any community should ever be left behind. And I think that those are the people you always want to look out for because that's just an extension of your family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds really sweet.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if that
No,
sounded
it's okay,
melodramatic.
but it sounds really sweet. Like, I'm glad to hear that, cause like, I really want to like try and like talk to more people like you, and like.
It's
be
hard
part-
though.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that takes a lot of time. You don't just get it like that. I mean, I definitely say I've gotten better about it now. I mean, I definitely used to be more like not so upfront about it, but I think over the years I've developed definitely a bigger understanding and a bigger picture way of looking at things. And now I'm just like, throw me in, and I'll be at HEB and I'll just talk to a stranger about what your city council did today. Your city councilor did today. So.
Oh wow, you just like push yourself out there.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Really, yeah, you just gotta push yourself out there.
Okay, I have a question. What's like one funny thing that like you remember, like a funny story?
What's a funny story?
Yeah.
There's so many funny stories. Can I tell like two quick ones? Okay, so Community Power ATX and us were doing advocacy at City Hall to prevent the City Council from demolishing Acacia Cliffs, which is an affordable housing complex in Northwest Austin, and we were there for the entire day. Of course, I don't think if most people know this, but City Hall and like the Capitol and all these spaces, they are really tiring. Like they make you feel sleepy. Like you go there and you just immediately feel tired, right? And there were so many people sleeping, and I was sleepy too. And we close our eyes for a little bit, and the security guards come in and literally tell us, y'all can't sleep here. And mind you, we're on a couch in the back, and we're just literally minding our own business. And they're literally, you can't even rest your head back and close your eyes. And every time we would do it, they would just be like, quit doing that. And I would be like,
oh, okay. So they're like bossy.
Yeah, and then the second story, this is actually funny. This was when I was doing student organizing for the mayoral campaign for Carmen Yanes Pulido, and we were doing poll greeting at UT Austin. And of course, we got greeted by a lot of interesting people. And we were kind of having like a turf war with all the other mayoral campaigns and like their volunteers. And it was just really funny. I didn't think that stuff like that could get so like competitive. It was just really funny to see, and it was also kind of funny to upstage a lot of people in UDEMs. But that's how I feel.
That's how like you explain it. Oh, okay. So this is supposed to be Mari's, but I guess I'll do it.
You are the boss today.
I know, right? It feels so off, but it's okay. Okay, so let's talk about some current events. What do you think about the recent flood events?
Oh, I genuinely, I feel like a really weird mix of like anger and hopelessness, because I really do think that, and I've unfortunately heard it in so many like circles of people who are trying to stop Texans from holding our elected officials accountable and say, well, you can't, floods aren't political. You can't decide. They don't discriminate. Okay, a lot of places in Central Texas, particularly those that are working class or are communities of color, have horrible infrastructure, and are also placed next to flood zones and creeks that are known to rise. And I think particularly the way I've been feeling about it is that it shows both I wouldn't say, a lot of people are saying systemic failure. I think that these things were built this way. So I think it shows why these systems clearly don't work for any of us. It's also made me really sad to hear how many children have unfortunately died, like in a horrible, violent way, particularly those at Camp Mystic, and to see so many unincorporated parts of Travis County not get any attention like those in Sandy Creek. And it's really personal for me because my grandmother lost everything in the 2013 Halloween floods in Dove Springs. So to see it like so many years later kind of like restart again is just really saddening. And I hope and I pray that people get their heads straight and we can finally address that climate change is going to horribly affect Texans, and we hold our elected officials accountable and we get them to put in measures that can hopefully prevent larger tragedies like these. And I hope that those at Camp Mystic are able to heal, and I hope the communities are able to heal. And I hope through, collective healing, and we can get to a better place. I'm also really grateful that so many businesses have been willing to donate, funds and any type of material. I want to shout out Community Power ATX and Hands Off Central Texas for all the wonderful mutual aid they've been doing. It's really admirable.
And do you think that like climate change politics should be talked more enough? Like, do you think it's like very important to talk more about it now that like we're way into the future?
I think it is, because I would say it's probably at the moment, like disregarding any other geopolitical nonsense that's occurring, I think it's probably like the single greatest like threat to humanity. Clearly, like that affects the entire planet, and it doesn't it does discriminate in the sense that white richer areas, of course, aren't going to be so susceptible to flooding, and poorer areas in the global south, areas with communities of color, are going to be susceptible to flooding, to pollution. So it clearly is political. Like, look at where congressional districts are, and like how much pollution is in that area. Look at the number of black residents in an area next to a power plant. So it's very political, and I hope that in the upcoming, elections, people take that with them to the ballot box.
They take it more seriously.
Yeah.
Like, actually, like, take
It's also
it
just
in.
science. We should really listen to science. Like, we're way past the age people don't, like, they don't listen to science. Like, just listen to science.
Right? Like, it's all there. This is another question. Trump's cut to National Oceanic Atmospheric Admin, NOAA, and National Weather Service, which monitors and alerts communities. Did you get that?
Are you talking about like the NOAA cuts and the NWS cuts? Yeah. I didn't really think that man could get any dumber. I think we're now to the point where he is so dumb you have to water him 2 times a day. And I remember being in like 5th grade, and we would track NOAA every day during hurricane season. As we would go to class, and we'd be like, okay, whip out your hurricane charts. We're gonna see what NOAA is looking like today. And the amount, I'm like genuinely so perplexed by it, because the amount of like a lot of his voters live in Tornado Alley. Like, a lot of his voters live in Flash Flood Alley. Like, I understand that Doge is like in Trump, they're trying to consider waste, but it's like, this is clearly not wasteful. And from what I know, like from my own knowledge so far of like looking at the situation with the floods, I do know that the residents weren't, and the county officials weren't given enough notice from the NWS, National Weather Service. Thankfully those of us in Austin were able to get alerts, but from what I know, those in Kerrville were not. And clearly that is a big correlation, because this is a national service, not a state service. And I think it just goes to show the danger of these cuts, and how widespread the tragedies will be because of them. And I think, unfortunately, of course, the average American is not going to say, National Weather Service got cut, my life is ruined. But I feel like that's kind of the urgency we have to look at it with, because it's going to be scary to, when your house is flooding, and it could have let you know that could be a potential factor in like 2 hours before.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. That is scary. Like, not knowing until like way late, like that something bad will happen to like your community, your home, your friends, your family.
And I just don't think that people, like, I think it's really unfair that I don't think that communities and people, it's completely unfair that they have to suffer the brunt of the stupidity of people who have it all, but also know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair. Like, those little girls at Camp Mystic, like they should literally be here. And it's completely, I think, I feel like the better term is inhumane that Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, the president of the United States, can't look at the fact that they are directly responsible, in my mind, for what happened with them and with Kerrville. And again, I just hope that they are held accountable.
I hope so too, because that's just scary.
Like, unfortunately, I think we are gonna see more occurrences like
Yeah.
these. They're gonna become more common.
Sorry.
It's okay. That was heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy. I have 2 more questions. Okay, so what do you think about like the anti-gentrification protests in Mexico City? Have you heard about that?
Yes, and honestly, we low-key need to be bringing that energy like tenfold to Texas and to Austin. I mean, rightfully so. I just in my like in a terms of like a really scholarly perspective, I look at gentrification as an example of like neo-colonialism, and especially looking at a place like Mexico, which of course has like a lot of problems can be tied to imperialism, to an intervention, to colonialism, and it's not fair to go into a place where people already don't have like may not have jack and to just jack them more of their stuff. And I hope they keep showing up, and I hope they keep speaking out and hollering at tourists. And like if you're gonna come to a place like that, you should know to be respectful of the people, of the history, of the culture, of the land and the language. Like I feel like that's the mindset you should carry. And obviously, like, I'm not against people wanting to live where they want to live.
Yeah.
Like, you do you. Like, I don't have that much. I don't have that much power to tell someone where they can and can't live. If you are, just be conscious. Just be conscious of the space that you're in, and know to be respectful, because we all have direct impacts on the things that we do. And obviously, we're seeing like the cost of living rise up in Mexico City. So hopefully this draws a bigger attention, and I hope people understand that like gentrification can happen almost anytime.
Yeah. I think like people should like honestly like look at the internet and like actually like look at the important things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. And I don't know what this means, but Charlie Kirk debate against Cambridge University getting roasted for 90 seconds. What's your take on that?
I really, 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 really hate like the debate, like the public discourse debate culture that has gone from like the early 2010s to now. I can't stand it. Charlie Kirk, you are not a public intellectual. You dropped out of community college, and then you started Turning Point USA. Like, and now you go to college campuses to tell people why they're dumb and why they should go out of college. And
Oh, I just realized it's that one guy.
yeah, it's that weird white guy with the weird smile. He's like, he was on Jubilee, which is also another thing I don't like.
I was like, who is that?
I
And
I
remembered.
mean, I really try to avoid that stuff because I'm an intellectual and I like to protect my brain. I don't want and I have a beautiful brain. I have a beautiful head. I don't want to be poisoned by nonsense like that.
Right.
So I can only give you my opinion on Charlie Kirk, which is I think that he is a waste of space. I think that he is a right-wing white Christian nationalist who poses a threat to the lives of very vulnerable people in this country. And the fact that he gets to have any say or any opinion or any impact in terms of public policy kind of frightens me. And I don't understand why people want to platform him. Like I'm a very big proponent of free speech and like open discourse. I love it. I love dissent. I love contradictions, like blah, blah, blah. But I think someone like that is not there to engage in dialogue or discourse. I think he's there to just amplify vitriol and division. And I just, again, like I don't really like the culture right now with like debate culture, discourse culture, where it's like we get people who have horrible opinions we get people with horrible opinions where they literally disregard the life of another human being, and they're meant to like sit across from another person who believes in human rights, and they're supposed to find like common middle ground. Like I just think that's ridiculous. And I even hate it coming from like even Democrats, like a lot of the younger people like that Dean kid or that Parker kid. I don't like any of it. Like,
No, you just like,
you should be out in the street.
Yeah.
Like you should come on.
right, like,
Quit talking, start working.
right, like actually like do something about it, you know? Yeah.
Except for this is chill because
Yeah,
we're actually
talking about
we
it.
actually do the
Yeah,
work.
yeah, we're actually talking.
we actually do the work.
Okay, so fun time. Okay, what's your hot take, hot tea in under 30 seconds? I don't have a timer on me.
Hot take or hot tea in like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the progressive organizations in Austin are bought out by the PayPal mafia, particularly Aura, University Dems, and the DSA. Ironically, I think that a lot of them are just kind of mouthpieces for basic like opinions of human rights that everyone I think should hold. If you really I think a lot of them kind of are not in community. Oh, it's a fact that a lot of them aren't in community, and I think that. Unfortunately, Austin has a huge problem with showing itself as this big progressive city when really it is very regressive. And unfortunately, as a lot of people would like to think that they're doing good, they're actually doing a lot of harm. But I know that they're really only doing it to get a good Kennedy School recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can't hate them for that. But if you really think that a lot of these organizations in Austin are like here for you, they're not.
Wow.
Hot take.
Hot take. Sorry. Oh, okay. Now we have some discussion questions for you.
Ooh.
Okay, so estate. What do you think about estate developer interests?
I really don't want to raise my blood pressure, but
Oh.
I find that I don't understand why people who already have so much money need to be coddled by our elected officials. Like, I guess it's because Endeavor Real Estate bought Kirk Watson's campaign and paid thousands of dollars, and now they feel compelled to look out for the real estate developers. Maybe that's why. I guess it's a little, reciprocity there. I guess that's polite, but I really don't care about them. I would if they were building homes for poor people and working class folks in Austin, but that's not the case. But I think it's kind of setting just to get serious, I think it's setting a really dangerous precedent for the fact that people who have so much money, whether they're like, very right wing or center, I think the fact that we allow so much big money in the world of public policy that actually impacts like real people is really dangerous. And particularly in Austin, what we're seeing with real estate developer interests and real estate money on the dais at City Council is very frightening. And I think that it just sets a horrible precedent for the fact that, oh, okay, I get a ton of money from these people. I'm now required to essentially be their mouthpiece in municipal government or in state government or in the federal government. I think it's kind of ridiculous, and I feel like we should know better. Yeah, I don't care about real estate developers. I care about three things: Jesus, community organizing, and Cabo Bobs.
Okay. Okay, so two more discussion questions. Okay, so what do you think about progressive politics?
What do I think about progressive politics? I mean, I would consider myself a progressive. I mean, ideologically, like left libertarian-esque type person. But like progressive politics, I think right now in the United States is kind of suffering a bit of a setback. I think because of the rise of Trumpism and his win in 2024, I think we're seeing progressives and some of those that we would consider on the left, some of those we consider liberal, to almost pander to the right and to the far right and to right-wing interests in order to like appeal. And I really don't believe in that. I believe in common good above common ground. And I think that if progressives really want to create a multiracial, working class, like grassroots movement, multi-generational movement, we're going to have to get back to, our principles, and we're going to have to we need to get back in community and out of big money. And we need to really like create a wider vision of what we want. And especially in Austin, I feel like progressive is such a meaningless word, because you look at progressive organizations and who they're working with, whether it is Peter Thiel or the No Six or Texans for Reasonable Solutions, that's not progressive. Again, it's regressive. And I think we just need to kind of like have a come to Jesus moment and be like, are we like, what are we doing? Like, what real impact have we had? Because I can tell you, I know so many big orgs who aren't sitting down with, you know, politicians who are out here helping the community, getting work done, who are at, like, that's progressive, that's grassroots. Like, I don't want to see you like doing some show for the cameras where you're, you know, like, okay, for example, like I think it's kind of ridiculous that we have a pride flag at City Hall, but
Yeah.
we displace people in Austin that are also queer. So
It's
that's
kind
kind
of
of that's kind
confusing.
of contradicting.
Yeah.
You know, if you were really about that life, you would make sure you would know that like queer people, queer youth suffer a lot of are like the height of like homelessness rates, and you'd want to make sure those people are housed and like not prioritize luxury development. So,
It's just
so yeah, I
weird.
think progressive politics, particularly like, just needs kind of a revision moment.
Yeah.
Like we really need to get back to the roots.
And one last question before we end it off. What are some demands for city's council?
What are some of the demands? Drop the PayPal mafia. Talk to community. Repeal home. I would like to see that. I would also like to see these people, I don't know, give a damn. I think that's just like the basic part of it. I would really like to see more community-driven solutions at the forefront. I'd like to see I'd like to see people from community at the table. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when, you know, I would see these people on like a frequent basis, and you know, they would somewhat listen to us. And I feel like now they almost act as if like they're in a separate world from us. Like they don't really have to speak to us like they're above us. And I think I think they need to be reminded that they literally work for us. Like, you know, we elect them, we pay their salaries. But I'd definitely like to see more community-driven solutions at the forefront. I like to see people from community. I just want to see community prioritized. I think is a better way to like shorten that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Of
It's a
course, you
very
were
fun
awesome.
episode. So see you later, guys, at Community Party 2.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
It was chill.
Yay.